Swagatam. Today is Brihaspati Vasaraha, Ekonavimshati Dinankaha. It is the Raghuvamsham. Let's do Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanistada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmiyaham. Rame Chittale Sada Bhotume Bhorama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti Atha Shri Maheshwara Sutrani A I Un Rul Ruk E Ong I Ouch Haya Barak Lanya Nyamanga Na Nam Jabang Gardadash, Jaba Gardadash, Kapha Chata Chata Tavaka Pai Sha Sha Sar Hal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Okay, last time we had begun this shlokaha Chaturashiti Tamashlokaha, Chaturashiti, 84 shlokaha. Arabdha, it has been started by us. Let's read it one more time. Again, we are in the 11th chapter of Raghuvamsham, and this is the 84th shloka. These are some easy verses for us to practice, which is good. Give us some confidence, and we can, not feel so afraid of the Raghuvamsham. Of course, we have the Tikakara to help us. The objective of this class is, of course, how to understand a slightly difficult text through the Tika. The Tika is our gateway to this difficult text. Also, the Tika Karasya Sammanaha. It is respecting the scholars who have done all this work for us. So their qualities come into us. They really do. When you read Raghuvamsham, some ansha of course, Raghupati also comes to you. Some ansha of the Kalidasa comes to you. Some ansha of Malinatha comes to you. It really does. Some of this flows down to you when you read this text with respect and try to put in an effort to understand them. So that's the objective of the class. Of course, we try to use Vyakaranam, but you already have some basics. We don't have to go into every word. Okay, let us start with reading again. Spasamataha spashtataya pathanam uchchaihi shanaihi nirdosham pathanam. So read loudly, clearly, slowly. Even if you just know how to read, you have come a long way. Just by keeping on reading, you will understand eventually. If you keep on going. You can read Gita, you can read Ramayanam, you can read the Siddhanta Kaumudi. So you can read Vyakaranam the same way you can read these Kavya Grantaha, Puranani Ityadi. Okay, so Chaturashiti Tamashlokaha. Ekadashe Sarge. न प्रहर्तुम मलम अस्मि निर्दयं विप्र इत्यभिभवत्यपि त्वयि शंस किं गतिं मनेन पुत्रिणा हन्मि लोकमुत ते मखार्जितं न प्रहर्तुम मलम अस्मि निर्दयं विप्र इत्यभिभवत्यपि त्वयि शंस किं गतिं मनेन पत्रिणा हन्मि लोकम उत ते मखार्जितम. Punarekavaram. Here there are two yen sandhis here, so it's a little bit difficult to pronounce. You have to go slowly. Best thing is to, when you pronounce, if you have a problem, so yadi kinchit bhava badha anubhuyate, if you experience some difficulty, so klesho anubhuyate, tari shanaihi gantavyam, khandashaha praditavyam, khandashaha. Read, isolate the problem. What is the problem? So go slowly and take a break before and after. I mean, this is trivial, but it does help. It does have to go slowly, one letter at a time. No need to rush. And don't do padacheda as you're trying to read it. That's the second step. Like in the Veda, you have the Mula Partha, you have Pada Partha, you have Krama Partha and all that. So while you're reading, no padacheda. Na prahartum malam asmi nirdayam vipra ityabhivavatyapि tvayi shamsa kim gatim manena patrina hanmi lokam utate makhajitam. Now the padacheda of this is na prahartum alam asmi nirdayam he vipra. No, not he, I'm sorry. This is not he vipra. So this is vipraha iti. This is the sandhi rule like Arjuna vacha. So vipraha iti padacheda, vipraha iti. One thing I always told you is that if you see a naked vowel, like this, the ikara over here is sitting without combining with the prior element. This ikara should immediately raise a red flag for you. Make this a point, please. If you see a naked vowel, of course not at the beginning of a sentence, but anywhere in the shloka, in the sentence, if you see a naked vowel which has not combined with the prior element, then there is something has happened there. Why has it not combined? Why has this not become viparetya? Because between this akara over here and this ikara, there should have been a ad gunaha. So why has ad gunaha not happened? So this is unlike as in Hindi or Gujarati, Marathi, where you write these separately. In this language, you have to sandhi karyam. See, we are reading shlokas now. If you are reading the prose, in that case, it depends on the vivaksha of the vaktu. So vaktur vivaksha apekshate. But here in shlokas, you have to stop and ask, how come this was not combined? This was not combined with the prasha. In this instance, there is a very, very famous kind of it's not a sutram, it's a rule. Because what is Panini's sutram for this? Is samhitayam. That's what Panini says. So this adhikara of ad gunaha is coming in samhitayam. I think you know all this by now. So samhitayam. Samhitayam means there is like put samhita. Hita is placed. Samhita is placed together. When items are placed together, means when there's continuous speech, there's no pause. There's no pause in between there. So sutra, like all these sutras, the ikoyanachi, echo yava yavaha, then the ad gunaha, ruddhi rechi, ato gune, all these come in samhitayam. One more thing is, please always practice the adhikaras of the ashtadhyaya. Very, very important thing. I cannot emphasize to you more. One thing which we try to do in this class more than most people do is the ashtadhyayi territory. Always keep an eye on the ashtadhyayi. I know it is, you might think, why do I need this? I don't need this, but it's very, very important because that is the Moola Shastram. That is Rishehe Vachanam. That is the statement of the Rishi, Panini, how these rules work. So yes, we want to follow Siddhanta Kaumadi, but that is a very, revised, useful way of doing things. It's a Prakriya Marga. You need both of these. Always need both of these, Kaumadi and Ashtadhyayi. So this section of Samhitayam goes up to 158. If anything is Samhitayam, then it has to be, these rules have to apply. So obviously for some reason, Ad Gunaha has not applied. For some reason, Ad Gunaha has not applied here between very simple, between Vipra and Iti, that Ad Gunaha has not applied. So what has happened there? One of the main reasons for not applying is the Purvatara Siddham. When some operation is done in the Tripadi section of the Ashtadhyayi, it becomes Asiddhavat, means it becomes Asiddham. It becomes Asiddham is the right term, means that the prior rules, any prior rules cannot see that operation. Particularly the Lopashakalya, which is done in 8.3. Shakalya was another great acharya. I think he was thought to be the first one who did the analysis of the Kramapatha of the Padapatha of the Rigveda, Lopashakalyasya. So when Lopashakalyasya comes, that will not be seen by these rules. Now, just I want to mention this one thing which you will hear a lot is, when is the Sandhi Karyam to be done? When is the Sandhi Karyam not to be done? There is this nice verse on that, and there it is the Samhita Ekapade Nitya Dhatu Pasargayoho. So Samhita Ekapade Nitya. When you have a single padam, Supting Antam Padam Nitya, it is Nitya Karyam. Nitya Dhatu Pasargayoho. It is always, in fact, we can put in this document here. So samhitaikapade nitya, nitya dhatu upasargayoho. You have to memorize this, but you can kind of remember this. So we put it here for you. So when all has samhita to be done, that is the question. That is the question over here. So samhitaikapade, samhitaikapade nitya, samhitaikapade nitya, pade nitya. So when ekapadam samhita has to be done, nitya dhatu upasargayoho, nitya dhatu upasargayoho, sargayoho, nitya dhatu upasargayoho. Then nitya samase is also nitya samase. In a compound also it is nitya. Nitya samase. Vakyetu sa vivaksham apekshate. So vakyetu sa vivaksham apekshate. Apekshate. So what this means is that in ekapade, when you have a single padam, the sandhi karyam has to be done. Samhita ekapade nitya. Nitya. Then nitya dhatu upasargayoho. Dhatu upasarga is nityam. Nitya karyam. Nitya samase. It has to be in a compound. Then vakyetu sa means sa samhita vivaksham apeksh means depends. Vivaksham apekshate. It depends on the intention of the speaker. So this is the part which is invoked to sometimes justify not doing a sandhi, vakyetu. But 90%, now some texts are better than others. In Bhagavad Gita, you have most places sandhi rules are done as they should be done. So in Bhagavad Gita, in most places, you have the sandhi rules are done. For example, if you see, there's only a couple of places in the Gita where sandhi has not been done. If you look at chapter 12 of Gita, always keep Gita as your guide at all times. At all times. The Gita should be at your fingertips at all times. So here in chapter 12 of the Gita, there is a situation where there is, here I'll show you, there is, here it is. Atachittam samadhatam nashakno shimaistharam. Abhyasepya samarthosi matkarma paramo bhava. I think, okay, here it is. Nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdhvanna samshayaha. This is in Gita chapter 12, number 8. So between here, mayyeva, between mayyeva and ataha, there should have been a sandhi. Mayyevata, should be mayyevata, mayyevata. But this sandhi has not been done. Now between this and this there is no problem, because that is going to be example like we have right now. So we have right now a situation about, vipra iti. So in Gita also that situation is there. So that this is not a problem. Right now what you have is not a problem. It's simple, it's some sandhi operation. This is the purvatra siddham. This is not a visandhi dosha. Visandhi dosha means that there is, the problem is sandhi not being done properly. That's not what we have. But in Gita you do have a place. Ata urdham, they should have, between this one. Mayyeva ata. There's no purvatra siddham, nothing stopping the sandhi here. But then what you do is that you have to invoke this one, is vakyetu sa vivaksham apekshate. It depends on the intention of the speaker. So my basic point to you is that when you see a naked vowel like that, the ikara, immediately stop and investigate. That's the most important point. If you see a vowel which has not been combined, it should combine. It should be the ach sandhi. If there's a hal, it just joins that. There's nothing sanyoga. There should be no, I shouldn't say sanyoga. Just, when you write them together. So if there is any hal, any consonant, is of course like if there is a makar, it will become me. Nakara will become ni. You just combine with the prior consonant. There's no reason for it to stay like that. If there's a vowel, there should be there should be a vowel sandhi, ach sandhi. In this case, ad gunaha. But of course, we know in this case what has really happened is that, so this is not he vipra, not he vipra. So this is really what it is simply speaking, it is vipraha. So vipras is prathama ekavachanam. Prathama ekavachanam it is. So it is really vipras plus iti, and then we apply the usual rules, which is sasajusho ruho, and then, upadesha nasikait. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi lopashakalyasya. Again, these are hopefully by now are going to be easy for you. We have done this many times in the daily examples. So it becomes vipra plus iti because of these rules. You get, of course, sasajushoruho. Then you can take the upadeshajanasika it, and bho bhago agho purvasya yoshi, and lopashakalyasya. Lopashakalyasya. So what we are doing here is just simply in the sandhikaryam. The rules are as follows. You get the bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi, which means that the when you have apurvasya, when you have akara purvaha, this ru is the akara purvaha, becomes a yakara adesha ashi. So right now what we have is that we have the ikaraha, which is clearly an ash. So you get the yakara, it becomes viprayati. And then comes the rule lopashakalyasya. The shakalyasya acharyasya matena. It becomes the, if you have avarna purvaha, if you want to really confirm the vrittis for these, you can check that. It is 8.3.17 and 8.3.19 are the two rules over here. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. So you get the etat purvasya ror yadesha achi. So the ru takes the, in fact then you don't even need ro re pasya yakara adesho ashi parataha. So that's what happens. In this case you have this apurvasya in vipras that become sasajusho ruhu, and then prior to the ru is the akara. It becomes the yakara adesha ashi parataha. Of course, ashi includes all the vowels and also includes all the soft consonants, mudhuvarnaha, up to, jaba, gada, dash. So clearly the ikara is in that. So you get the ya adesha, and then lopashakalyasya is that avarna purvayoho padantayoho yavayor lopaha vashi pare. So again, ashi parataha, this avarna purvayoho padantayoho yavayoho lopaha va. So we have that. So that's what happens is that we get the yakar lopa. And this lopashakalyasya is clearly these two rules are in the Tripadi section, which are governed by Purvatra Siddham. So now 8.2.1 stops application of Adgunaha. Anyway, this we have done many times, but just want to go through it. So the main point that I made was that when you see this vowel which is not combined, so this ikaraha you have to stop. So it is vipraha iti abhibhavati api tvayi shamsa kim gatim anena patrina hanmi lokam uta te makarjitam. Now this word abhibhavaha. So abhibhavaha is, I think this dictionary of apte was not working for a few days. Let me see if it is working now. Apte dictionary. It's working. Okay, good. So abhibhu. This word abhibhu means to overpower. It comes in Gita. We'll go there in a second. So abhibhu, These are you have to learn from literature. These effects on the upasarga on the dhatu. So abhibhutihi. So to overcome, to subdue, to conquer, to vanquish, to predominate, to defeat, to excel, to surpass. So to attack, to fall upon, to seize. Here it means tiraskaraha. So means that attack, to humiliate, to mortify, to insult, to disrespect. So abhibhavati means tiraskurvati api tvayi. So tiraskurvati means even though you are insulting me, even though you are disrespecting me, still I cannot kill you. So so tiraskare pare api. So even though insulting me, so abhibhu is a dhatu, bhu with the abhi takes these various meanings of to attack, to also to overpower, to vanquish, to conquer, to insult, to assail, to humiliate. So that's what is going on here. Now in Bhagavad Gita, always go to our home base, and in Bhagavad Gita you have that in chapter 1 itself. Adharma bhibhava Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha sishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha sankaro narakayeva. So adharma bhibhava Krishna, by the overpowering by adharma bhibhava Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha sishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. So it comes in chapter 1 of Gita, Abhibhu. So always check all the literature that you know, and see what it sees. So adharma abhibhava, here it is, abhibhavaha, adharma abhibhavaha va Krishna. So adharma abhibhavatyuto, adharmaha then conquers, adharmaha abhibhavati uta, adharmaha overpowers, it attacks, it assails. So it comes in Gita chapter 1, 40, 41. The moment you should click in your mind that when you see the abhibhavaha or abhibhu, again check all the forms of the dhatu upasarga combination. You can say abhibhavaha, you can say abhibhavati, you can say abhibhavitavyam. So all you can try, see if you have heard them anywhere. Again, you can always go to the commentary also. So abhibhavaha comes in Gita, and it's chapter 1. Just put the number for you. Comes in Gita. That's what I told you last time towards the end of the class. We're talking about this. The chapter number 1 is 40, 41. Chapter number 1, 40, 41. 140 and 41. Okay. Let's see what Malinatha does for us the Padanvayaha. Let's see how beautifully he does it. Is Abhibhavati Twayi Api. He didn't give any commentary. Not give any commentary. So this is the it's like a clause now. This is what is called as Sati Saptami. Because you see a Saptami there between the Abhibhavat. First of all, what kind of usage is Abhibhavat? The Shatru Pratyaya. Shatru means it's a present participle, like Pachat or Gachat. So this is the present participle. Means that it is, even though you are insulting me. So this is an action which is continuous. Okay, first let's talk about the Saptami Vibhakti is being used over here. In what sense is Saptami being used? Because Saptami, any Vibhakti assignment, Vibhakti Vidhanam, has to be done in the Dvitiyasya Dhyayasya Tritiye Pade. Any Vibhakti assignment in this language has to be done in the third Padaha of the Dvitiya Dhyaya. So that's always the case. So the moment you want to justify any Vibhakti, always come to two dots. It's only one single padaha. And there is this one, Saptam Yadhikaranecha. The Saptami starts from here. And Yasyacha Bhavena Bhavalakshanam. Let's look at this one, 2.3.37 quickly. Yasyacha Bhavena. What is called as Sati Saptami or Sat Saptami, which means that the timing of one well-known event is already occurring, indicates the timing of another event. We've already been through this a few times already in the class. In Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 1 itself, you have two nice examples of this, which you have the examples of this one. Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Midamaha Mahipate Arjuno Vacha. So here it is. Pravritte Shastra Sampate means that when the descent of arrows had just begun. Now Pravritta is a Nishtha Prayoga. It's already begun. Not beginning. Not as it was beginning. So if you use what's called the past participle, which is Nishtha Pratyaya, then it means that this action has already occurred, just occurred. So Pravritte Shastra Sampate. So as Sampata means descent of arrows had just begun. Then Arjuna asked Shri Krishna. That is here. Now what do we have right now? By the way, next example in the Gita comes here also, which is the Tri Shudushtasu Varshneya Jayate Varna Sankaraha. Sankaro, here it is. Tri Shudushtasu Varshneya. So means that when the women get corrupted, they already are corrupted. So these are examples in Gita, which is Sati Saptami. Now Sat Saptami is a better word used in Mahabhashyam. Now the thing is that what do we have right now? We have this abhibhavat. We have a present participle. So this means that this action is still as it is going on. There's simultaneous actions. There's simultaneous actions. So when you use the present participle, it's a simultaneous action. Even though you are insulting me, even though you're humiliating me, even though you're challenging me, api is the even though. So that is the meaning here. So this is a simultaneous action with the second action. Even though you're challenging me, even though you're putting me down, I am not able to kill you mercilessly, not able to attack you because you are a vipraha. That's the meaning. So these are two simultaneous actions. So one more time. Sati Saptami is used when the timing can be used when the timing of one action, one well-known action, already known action, is indicating the timing of another action. That's what is called bhava. Sutram is yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam. You have to be able to spot these. You have to be able to spot these. So many times you'll have a participle, like a present participle or a past participle in the saptami. And there will be samadhikaranam with something else. So you will have the abhibhavat pradipadikam saptami is there, and it's in samadhikaranam with twayi. Abhibhavati twayi. So now this will not make the usual sense of saptami adhikarane will not make any sense here. This is not like, in you or on you, so this is not that. You should be able to try to spot these. If you see a string of saptamis, at least two or more, where there is a participle in saptami, many times it will be nishtha prayoga, it will be a shatru pratyaya or shanas pratyaya. Again, sometimes it might even be understood. It might even be understood. The sati might be understood. So it can be, sometimes you have to supply the sati also. So abhibhavati api tvayi. Now let's look at the sutram. So that's one of the main thing in this shloka. In this shloka, we have to be able to figure out that this saptami here in abhibhavati and tvayi is a sati saptami or sat saptami. So this is in saptami, and this abhibhavati also in saptami. So they are what is called yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam. So when you see a saptami, where you see a participle in a saptami, samadhikaranam with one or more other terms, then try to look for sati saptami. Now, by this point, Molinatha will not give any commentary, because he could have said sati. He could have said sati. Abhibhavati api tvayi sati, even though you are. But he has not said that because it's very obvious. It's very obvious for us. He has not given that. Now, okay. Now let's see. Okay. Now what we have is a sutram is that yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam 2.337. So the other thing is that can we avoid sati saptami? Maybe do. Maybe is there a way to? Maybe this is not sati saptami because it says abhibhavati api tvayi vipra iti heto nirdayam prahartum alam shakto nasmi. So now can we say that it is on you? Is that I am not able to mercilessly attack on you? I think that is not probably a good meaning. I think that's probably not very good. I think this is a clause which has been taken out. So this is a sati saptami. Because look at the way that he has placed it out here, because he places saptami at the beginning as a clause outside, It is not this abhibhavati tvayi prahartum. The connection is not with prahartum directly here. The connection is with this entire event that is occurring later on. So, okay, let's look at quickly yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam. Yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam. Any Parni sutram, just keep on repeating it as many times as you can. As many times as you can. Yascha bhavena bhava lakshanam. So, bhava is kriya. In this sutram, bhava is kriya, one action. Yascha bhavena, yascha kriyaya. By one action. So by one action, kriyantaram lakshyate. Now one thing, be careful. You have to have bhinna karta. It should be a different doer. Different. If you have the same doer, you can use diktva. So having said this, he went away. Idam uktva sagatavan, nirgatavan. Right? But if you, let's say a quick example. Let's say that having said this, he went away. Now he is a common doer of two actions. Then we don't use sati saptami. We have to use that, our tva pratyaya. You have seen many times, samana krittikayoho purvakale. Samana krittikayoho purvakale. So this is when you have a samana karta. It means idam uktva saha nirgatavan. Having said this, he left. But we say, when I said this, he left. If you want to say that, so mai ukte. So idam mai yukte sati. So then, when you say that, then, you can mai yukte, then when on my saying this, he left. So then in that case, it will be, it will be sati saptami. So mai yukte. When I had said, then he left. So, or mai yuktavati. Idam mai yuktavati. When I had said this, then he left. Mai yuktavati. Uktavat means I said. So when I said this, then he left. So it has to be bhinna. My point is that it has to be bhinna karta. So if aham, when I say something, then he left, this is saptami. If he is the one doing two actions himself, it has to be tva pratyaha. Idam uktva, having said this. We say idam aham uktavan. We can also make it yada tada, by the way. Yada tada. When I said this, at that time he left. Okay. Now, so main point is that it has to be a different doer. So idam mayuktavati. When I had said this, then he left. So kriya. So yasya cha kriya. By someone's action, yasya cha kriya. Kriyantaram lakshate. Tato bhavavataha saptam yoktir bhavati. So that which is indicating the action of something here, that takes saptami. So prasiddha cha kriya kriyantaram lakshayati. So prasiddha cha kriya kriyantaram lakshayati. Prasiddha cha kriya kriyantaram lakshayati. So one kriya which is prasiddha indicates another action. So goshudhyamana sugataha. So as the cows were being milked, he went away. Dugdha swagataha. When they were milked, he came back. This is a prasiddha. In the old days, milking of the cows was a particular time in the evening. So as the cows were being milked, this is a present participle. He went away, and when they were milked, he came back. So what we have is this. We have this one. Go shuddhyamana sugataha. The same thing we have right now, which is that we have abhibhavati twayi api. And look at this clause been taken out of Malinatha also in the beginning. We'll put some sutram, which is that sat saptami, sati saptami, and the present participle has been used. So between this abhibhavati and twayi, abhibhavati. Now, one more thing is that be careful now. This is not a lat lakara, because bhavati can very well look like a lat lakara, isn't it? Looks like a lat lakara. It is not. Because then who is the karta of that then? Because look at this. This is also an important point here, is that this is not lat. Because it is lat. Actually, it is lat lakara. It's not the. I shouldn't say. Let me take it back. This is not the ting pratyaya. Abhibhavati is not ting pratyaya. If you make it ting pratyaya, who is the karta of that? Because twayi is saptami over here. The twayi is in saptami. So if you didn't know the context, then abhibhavati of course could be lat lakara. Pratham purusha ekavachanam. So saha abhibhavati, Arjuna adharmaha abhibhavati, and so on comes in Gita. But this is not the case. You should be very careful. So what this also shows you a suptingantam padam. But there can be a padam which may be a sup, may be a thing also. Because abhibhavati is actually saptami ekavachanam of abhibhavat. So this is really, this is a saptami ekavachanam, and the pratipadikam is abhibhavat. Pratipadikam is abhibhavat. So you will be very careful here. So this is abhibhavat pratipadikam. This is subantam padam. This ikara here is a saptami. It is not the tip pratyaha. From the context only you will know that abhibhavat is the pratipadikam. So be very careful. Sometimes the poets can be very nasty. Shabda chalaha. They can play with the words in such a way that this will look very, very confusing. So one more time. This saptami ekavachanam of bhavat pratipadikam looks exactly like a tingantam padam. This looks like the pratham purusha ekavachanam. You have to be very careful. Is that, of course, both choices are open to you. If you look at the shlokaha, if you take it tingantam padam as pratham purusha ekavachanam, then karta, who's the karta? It is you. Sri Rama is talking to Parashuramaha. Even though you are attacking me. So you will not be, at the most you can say Bhavan, but there is nothing in Prathama here to become the Karta. Instead you have Saptami following here. So this is the clue now. this is the clue that what we have here is likely a saptami and not a tingantam padam, not a tingantam padam. This looks very confusing. So look around that. If you see more saptamis around, if the karta has gone in saptami also with that, then in that, so basically the karta of the action will be in saptami. That's what I'm trying to say. So you are the one who are attacking me. So that you, this probably become yushmat. Yushmat has become twayi, saptami ekavachanam. So look at what the vibhakti on the karta is. Vibhakti on the karta is not pratama. It is saptami. So that is what, so, but if you, so that is the confusing thing here, is that this looks like a tingantam padam. It is not a tingantam padam. Also highlights the point that whether a padam is tingantam or subantam is not cast in stone. There can be choices. There can be choices. And sometimes really will be a choice. So particularly this saptami ekavachanam of the shatrantam padam looks exactly the tingantam padam. Now, so now let's form the word abhibhavati. Of course, we can leave abhi out of the formation because that's the upasarga. So dhatu is bhu. I think we can now do some of the steps because I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button here. Okay. Dhatu is bhu, which is bhu dhatu, and start from the lat lakaraha. So vartamane lat. Now all these steps, I hope you're all following the examples. This is the backbone of these classes. The backbone of these classes are the examples coming to you, because you only have class once a week, and sometimes by speaking I may make some mistakes, but these are the backbone of the classes over here, which is all these examples coming to every day. Examples come to every day. So these, I hope you're following them and you're doing that, because every day you get examples. So I keep talking every class. I talk about this. Is that the examples which come to you with the answers? So here you have a lot of examples. So they have to be. If you try to follow like bhavatu, bhavati, bhavas, if you go here, so this is the backbone of our classes, which is you have to try to, because you get in written form, every day you get an example, try to follow. Of course, some of them might be difficult for you, but you also get the answers back in a few days. So you can look at the example, try to understand the example. Say bhu plus lat we have done here, then bhu plus la, and the examples are given over here, and try to answer the questions if you can, and then look for the answers which come to you afterward later on. So this is the backbone of all our classes, the daily examples. So please follow, and they're all archived, they're all safe. If you don't have time, it's okay. You can always come back and look at them. But there's a lot of information here in a lot of detail. In classes, we can only go so much. We cannot do that much in the class. Okay, so please follow the examples, and if you can do them and the more effort you put in, you'll get more value out of the examples. And if you're busy, of course, it's okay. You can always come back and look at the examples later. So if you go back to the document, now what's happening is here, normally we would do halantyam, upadesha ajjananasikait, then we'll do lasya. Instead of that whole process, we're going to go directly to the pratyaya, shatru pratyayaha. Because the 3 to 124 say lata shatrishana chava prathama samanadi karane. The lata shatrishana chav prathama samanadi karane. So we can use shatru and shanach. These are krit pratyaya, participle forms. They can be used in place of lat directly. Directly, lat can be given way to shatru or shanach as the case may be, as long as it's not prathama samanadi karane. Of course, this condition also can be relaxed. So right now we have a saptami. We don't have to worry about this one. So now we can form, basically to form present participles. This is the main sutram. Shatrishana chava prathama samanadi karane. Any new sutram, please keep on repeating it. Please keep on repeating it as many times as you can. The time is not wasted. The time in repeating a sutram is never wasted. So they stick in your head very firmly, very firmly. You can paschat smaranam bhavati. You can always remember them afterward. Lata shatrishana chava prathama samanadi karane. In fact, my teacher, when he used to teach me, he told me, his teacher told him, one thing I wanted to, at the end of the teaching, he told him, one thing you want to keep on doing is reading the Ashtadhyayi over and over and over again. Read the Siddhanta Kaumudi over, and even if you don't understand anything, you will get it. Eventually, this is not that difficult. Vartamane lat, straight for Vartamane lat. Shatru Shana Chava Pratama Samadhi Karane. So in this one, we get the Shatru Adesha. Why Shatru? Because we have a choice. Shatru and Shanach. Now, Tangana, left Parasmani Padam, Tangana, Vatmani Padam. Now, this also we've done in all the examples you got. We already know this. Any La Adesha gets the Sanya Parasmani Padam, but Tangana, Vatmani Padam. So, 9 pratyas, Ta, Asam, Ja, Thas, Asam, Zvam, Idvahi, Mahi, the Tang pratyaya and the Ana include, this is the Shanach. Get the Sanya, Atmani Padam. The Dhatu, Bhu, is the Parasmani Padi Dhatu. Parasmani Padi Dhatu. So therefore, with Bhu, we will use only the, we have a choice, Shatru and Shanach. So only use the Shatru Pratyaya, because the Shatru Pratyaya has Sanya Parasmani Padam, that the Shanach Pratyaya Sanya Atmani Padam, and because Bhu is the Parasmani Padi Dhatu, we have to use Shatru. So Tanga, left Parasmani Padam, 1499. So finally we get now, what we have is we have Bhu plus Shatru Pratyaya. What we have used is the Latas Shatru Shana Chava Pratama Samadhi Karane, and then of course left Parasmani Padam. Now, then the rest of it should be easy for you now, because now you have the Pratyaya which is Sanya Sarvadhatukam, Tingshit Sarvadhatukam, Kartari Shap. So we get the Shap Pratyaya in between, and of course Shap will cause the Guna of Bhu to become Bho. That should be straightforward for you. In the meanwhile, we'll do the Anubandha Lopaha. Anubandha Lopaha we'll do over here. So here we get the Pratyaya Shap, but of course Kartari Shap, Sarvadhatuke. Kartari Shap is only Sarvadhatuke. Kartari Shap, Anuvritti of Sarvadhatuke. Then we're going to get the Sarvadhatuka Ardha Dhatukayoho, Sarvadhatuka Ardha Dhatukayoho, and Anubandha Lopaha is also going to come here. So we're going to get this Bho over here, and then we get the Pratyaya, this Anubandha Lopaha here, So what we have done is that we got, Sarvadhatuka Ardha Yoho, Gunadeshaha, then of course the Lashakvatadjite, Halantyam, and then Upadesha Janunasika It, that gives that. And then after that, of course, you'll use the Echo Yava Yavaha, Echo Yava. So then we'll get the Bhavat by using Bhavat. So you'll use Echo Yava Yavaha and also Atogune. Please practice this. The best practice of the Panini engine, the Panini system, is the Tinganta Prakriya. The most kind of representative, the best sample of the Ashtadhyayi techniques comes in the Tinganta Prakriya. So that is really the heart of this. This is the Prana Bhuta. It is the life breath of the Ashtadhyayi. Is the Tinganta Prakriya, because you get a lot of interactions, a lot of Angakaryam. Things come in between. You have Guna, Lopaha, you have Sampasaranam, you have Vriddhi. All lot of beautiful things happening there. If you want to practice, if you want to take the Ashtadhyayi for a test drive, the best place you want to take for a test drive, if you're going to know one of the best features, is take it in the Tinganta Pada, in the Tinganta Rajyam, in the Tinganta territory, take it for a ride. So this is of course not Tinganta, this is Lakara, we didn't get Ting Pratyaya here, but you see how all these interact. You get this Gunaha, you get of course Yechoyava Yavaha, you get Atogune, finally you get Bhavat. So Bhavat means being is Bhavat, one who's being. Now one more thing is that Prajabhadikam Bhavat can also form from Dhatu Bha, taking the Pratyaya Davatu. Bhavat comes in two senses. One is this one, Bhavat, this present participle of the Dhatu Bhu. Can also be Bhavat means you, sir, irrespective, so which is the third person. You say, Bhavan Agachatu, please come, sir. So that Bhavan is not this Bhavat. Same Prajabhadikam Bhavat. That's from the Dhatu Bha, Pratyaya Davatu. That Bhavat declines like Bhagavat. That Bhavat declines like Bhagavat. Like Bhagavan, Bhagavantau, Bhagavantaha. So you will get Bhavan, so Bhavantau, Bhavantaha, Bhavantam. But this one declines like Pachat. So it will become like, Pachan, Pachantau, Pachantaha, Pachantam, Pachantau. So there are these two bhavats. One is from the dhatu bha, pratyaya davatu, declines like bhagavat, and that means you, sir. The sir is third person though. You have to be careful. But this bhavat is being. Anybody is being. So now, of course, abhibhavat means overpowering. So so if we take saptami of this pradipadikam, becomes bhavati. So this pradipadikam saptami gives bhavati. So what you really have is bhavati is not ting pratyaya at all. It is this pradipadikam bhavat which is declined saptamye kavachanam, saptamye kavachanam by the, of course, so just to get, this is a pradipadika sanya, to give bhavati. Now, of course, this gets the sanya of pradipadikam because of krittadita samasascha. So 1, 2, 46. Because this is a pratyaya which is krit pratyaya. Pratyaya shatru, which came in 3 to 124. The krit sanya. Krud a thing. So I think 3193. These are all these concepts of the Ashtadhyaya which you want to practice if you can. Krud a thing. In this dhatu adhikara starting from 3191, any pratyaya which is defined which is not a thing pratyaya gets a krit sanya. So pratyaya shatru was defined in 3 to 124. It comes in this dvitiya dhatu adhikare vihitaha. Dhatu adhikara is the second one. The first one is in 3122. Second one is in 3191. From 3191 onwards, those pratyaya which are not ting pratyaya get the sanya of krit sanya. And then by krit to the samasascha get the pradipadika sanya. And then of course, once you get sanya pradipadikam, you have to go to nya pradipadikat. You decline it. You decline that pradipadikam. It cannot be used without declension. Decline it. So saptamye kavachanam is not the ting pratyaya in bhavati. Let's go back. So this is just background for you. So abhibhavati api tvayi, even though you are insulting me, even though, of course, tvayi saptami of yushmat. And one more time is that the clue of abhibhavati not being a thing nantampang, look at the connection with the karta. The karta has gone in saptami here, tvayi. That is the indication that this is likely a sati saptami, not a thing nantampadam. Vipraha iti hetoho. Now, iti ends a quotation. Iti is an end quote. Where does the quotation begin? Always stop and ask. When you see iti, in this language, you don't really have an open quote. Open quote is not indicated explicitly. You have to supply that. Now, you can have one letter in the quotes. You can have one word, like in this case. You can have the whole sentence. You can have the whole paragraph. You can have the whole chapter. You can have the whole book. Iti Upanishad means the whole Upanishad is got inside quotes now. So you can Bhagavad Gita, right? So you can, at the end of the chapter you have iti. So that ends the whole chapter. But here we have vipraha iti. Only one, and that's only from the context you have to know. There is no hard and fast rule of where the iti would end. Now 99.9% of the time it will come at the end of the quotation. There will be some small percentage of time. It comes in Ramayanam in the first chapter, which you already saw in Saturday class, that iti comes in the middle of a quotation. It comes in Sri Hanuman says that drishta siti tattvataha, drishta siti tattvataha. So Sri Hanuman said to Sri Ramaha, drishta sita iti tattvataha. Now iti should end the quotation normally. Drishta sita means I have seen Sita. This is a very famous sentence of Ramayanam, which shows the buddhimattam. So buddhimattam of Sri Hanuman is how smart he was. When he came back to Sri Rama, he didn't tell him, I did this, I did that, and everything. He said, drishta Sita. I saw Sita. I have seen her. That's the very first thing he said when he came back. Drishta Sita iti tattvataha. So drishta Sita iti tattvataha. Tattvataha means I have really seen her. Really have seen Sita. So that is what, but tattvataha is outside after the iti. Drishta Sita iti tattvataha. Now, in this particular case, you may want to take the tattvataha inside the iti. But this is a rare example. But so anyway, so 99, this is in the chapter 1 of Ramayanam, which we are doing in Saturday class, the second half Saturday class. But my point is that 99.9% of the time the iti ends the quotation, but once in a while don't be surprised if it falls in between. When it is spashtam, when it is very clear, sometimes it will fall in between. Of course, right now it's very simple. There's only one word in the quotation, vipraha iti. That so vipraha is in quotes that you. So bhavan vipraha iti hetoho. The thing inside the quotation is a separate sentence. The thing inside the quotation is a separate sentence. You can say, it says vipraha. You supply. Bhavan vipraha asti iti hetoho. Because you are a vipraha. So vipraha iti. So considering that you are a vipraha. So so bhavan vipraha iti hetoho. Iti means hetoho. That is, says iti is standing for hetoho. Because of this reason. Because reason that you are a vipraha. Iti. Iti means iti matva. It is thinking so. That hetu or matva also has to be supplied. That iti has a bit of a loaded meaning to it. So I cannot kill you. You are a brahmana. Means that because you are a brahmana, I cannot kill you. So it says vipraha iti hetoho. So that iti is due to that reason. For that reason, hetoho. Iti hetoho. Nirdayam. Nirdayam prahartum alam shakta nasmi. Now nirdayam is a bahuvrihi compound. Dhatu called dai. Dai is to be kind, to be compassionate. From dai comes a feminine pradipadikam, feminine noun, I should say, nama shabda called daya. Daya. So this is a bahuvrihi compound, nirdayam. Now this is an adverb. It's a kriya visheshanam. Kriya visheshanam for the dhatu pra. Some this pra comes in, I guess, in the Vishnu Sahasranama, so Sarva Praharanayudha. The very last namaha, very last nama, not namaha, is naman pradipadikam. Very last nama. So charamam nama, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, Sarva Praharanayudha. So he is one who has all upraised weapons. Sarva Praharanayudha on namaiti. Praharana. So praharanam means to strike, to attack. So upraise, to be ready to. So prahartum means to prahr. See, r is to abduct, to take, not to take away, to take away. Haranam, like Sita haranam, abduction of Sita. So but prahr is to attack. Prahr is to attack. So you can go to dictionary, look at. So these are usually you have to get from the language. Vyakaranam cannot help you with this. You cannot cannot look at an example from Vyakaranam to get this. So here we have, if you look at Apte dictionary and if you go to Prahru, see, look at the different meanings of Prahru. See what all he gives. The main meaning will be to attack. Prahru. So Prahru. So pra and then so Prahru is to strike, to beat, to hurt, to injure, to wound, to attack, to assault. So Prahru is to attack. So and again, there's no commentary here. It's very straightforward meaning. So prahartum. So shaktaha nasmi. I'm not able to kill. So nirdayam. Let's talk about nirdayam. So what kind of compound this is? You can say nirgata daya. Yasmin tat karma. Tat karma. That action in which there is no compassion. So this is acting as a kriya visheshanam. So nirgata daya yasmin. In that in which there is no mercy. In that in which there is no mercy. That is nirdaya. So here, of course, we have to only do one operation here. So it is nirgata daya yasmin. Nirgata daya yasmin. The trick here is that these neuter, every bahubri is an adjective. Because of anekam anya padarthe. Anekam anya padarthe. It is used in the sense of anya padartha. Which is, it is talking about something which is not in the compound. Anekam anya padarthe is what Panini says. So any bahuvrihi compound is an adjective, like mahabahu, pitambaraha, all of these words. Sita prajnaha. They are talking about something which is not in the compound. Not in the compound. Anekam anya padarthe. Now, the one thing I want to point out to you is that these neuter, the adjectives can be used in dvitiya ekavachanam. in the neuter to form adverbs. Like Sukham Jivati, Samam Dhavati, Sukham Jivati, it comes in Gita. Dukkham aptum ayogataha, yo yukta manur brahma nachirani gacchati, yo yukto vishuddha. Okay, Gita, I think it's chapter Dukkham aptum ayogataha. Dukkham aptum ayogataha. So let's see if we can find it. Here. So it says Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. Now if you look at this, dukkham aptum might look like to obtain sorrow. It is not that. Dukkham aptum means to obtain with difficulty. Dukkham aptum here means to obtain with difficulty. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. So sanyasaha is difficult to obtain without yoga. So dukkham here, so these can be used, this dvitiya ekavachanam can be used to form adverb. You have to be very careful. And these can be some very nasty, long, bahuvrihi compounds can be used in the neuter, in the napumsakalinge, dvitiya ekavachanam, as adverbs. I think in the Shiva Mahimna Stotram, if you chant that, Shiva Mahimna Stotram, they have some of these long compounds functioning as adverbs. So anyway, bahuvri compounds are adjectives. Adjectives can be used as adverbs. Decline them in Napumsakalinge, Dvitiya Ekavachanam, and there is a Vartikam on 2418. This is not a Sutram, this is a Vartikam on 2418. And this Vartikam is that, it says that, which is Kriya Visheshana, there's some typos, this made some typos. Kriya Visheshananam cha klibata ishyate. That adverbs, see, Paunini unfortunately does not really clarify too much this topic of adverbs. But here it says Kriya Visheshananam cha klibata ishyate. Klibata. Now when we say ishyate means this is Patanjali. When you say ishyate, this is because you have sutras of Paunini, you have Vartikani by Katyayana, and you have the Ishtayaha, Ishti, by Patanjali. Patanjali has Ishtis, means he said this is desired. This is desired. Desire means that for us it's a rule. These are all basically rules for us, but they're different names. So when Paunini it is Sutrani. Where it's Katyayana, it is going to be Vartikani. Where it's going to be Patanjali, is called Ishtayaha. So Ishyate, now when you see like that, it normally refers to the Mahabhashyam. So Kriya Visheshananam cha klibata ishyate. And there's also part of Veda, karmattam cha ishyate. So what we have here is that, the important point is that this dvitiya ekvachanam which is hanging here, nirdayam, is an adverb. Look at the placement. It is placed right before the verb. Prahartum. Alam shaktaha nasmi. So the bahuvri compound here, nirgata daya yasmin. Tat. So it is that in which there is no mercy. Then we get the nirdaya, and then what we do. So this is the Sutram 2224, anekamanya padarthe. So if you look at the alaukika vigraha vakyam will be nirgata plus 2. Actually, one you have to use the Vartikam here. I'm sorry. You use the Vartikam here. What happened to the gata? This is like a word like vidhava, vigataha, dhavaha, yasyaha, sa. So one whose husband has gone away. Nispruhaha, nirgata, spruha, yasya, saha. Nispruha is one who has no longing. So spruha, nispruhaha. So these are all bahuvri compounds. There's a Vartikam on 2224 which says that this participle in the middle can be dropped optionally. Options. If you have paradi, of course all of you should know by now. This case has come in the examples many times. If you have the paradayaha, so which is the paradayaha, if you have one of these, which there is one of them, there are only 22 of them, these should be memorized. Not memorized, but kept for, these should be repeatedly referred to. This paradayaha. Paradayaha have to be repeatedly referred to. Upasarga kriya yoge. So these paradayaha should be on your Vyakarana Bhittau, all the time. So Paradayaha. So this para, para, apa, sam, anu, ava, nis, nir, the typo here. Dus, dur, again typo here. Vi, ang, ni. So we have this nis, nir. This is a typo here. Should be nir. So these are all. So dur, vi, ang, ni, adhi, api, ati, su, ud, abhi, prati, para. There is also a typo here. Para, prati, para. I think probably api is probably hold on, there's a typo. Let me just see what the last one is. I saw a lot of typos here. Okay, Sarga Kriya Yogi. Okay, give me 1 second. There are 22 of them. 22 of them. It is there is a typo on this thing. We're trying to correct all these typos. Trying to spend some time correct all these typos. So it should be upa. Upa should be the line, not upi, but upa. So it should be pari and upa. Upa should be line. So what is it? It should be pari and upa, not para and upi. It should be pari and upa. Anyway, so nir and nis are over here. When these paradis are used, then the connecting participle may be dropped optionally, like a word vidhava. So the Vartikam 1, 2 to 24. So you can also have nirgata dayaha and nirdayaha. You see idiomatic. Some of them idiomatically they are dropped. So anyway, according to Vartikam, it is optional, but there are idiomatic usages that you have to go by. So nirdaya. Now what happens is that the ending of this is a stri pratyaya at the end. We want to get the nirdaya. So what happens here is that the sutram which says that the 1 to 48 gostriyoho upasajanasya. If you have the upasajana sanya, so in a bahuvari compound, everything is upasajana sanya. What upasajanam is prathama nirdishtam samasa upasajana. It's a very basic concept. By the way, in the Wednesday class, we're doing samasas now. So if you want to practice a samasa prakaranam, the Wednesday class, we hope by the next year, we'll be able to record all the samasa prakaranam. So the sutram says prathama nirdishtam samasa upasarjanam, which means that in the samasa vidhayaka sutram, that with prathama in the sutram, that term indicated by that will get this sanya upasarjanam. And then it comes gostriyoho upasarjanasya. The sutram that we're using right now is anekamanya padarthe. Anekamanya padarthe. The term anekam is in prathama, in the sutram. So basically, bahuvari compound, every term gets the sanya of upasarjanam. Then gostriyoho upasarjanasya. So at the end of the pratipadikam, if you have the go shabda or a stri pratyayanta shabda, and if it has upasarjana sanya, it becomes rasvaha. Pratipadikasya. At the end of a pratipadikam, if you have a stri pratyaya which belongs to a term which has the upasarjana sanya, it takes the rasva adeshaha. So one more time, in a compound is that term which is prathama nirdishtam in the samas vidhayaka sutram gets sanya upasarjanam. For bahuvari, it is anekamanya padarthe. Anekam means every single term as a general rule in bahuvari will get the sanya upasarjanam. If you have a term which has upasarjana sanya at the end of a pradipadikam and which has a stri pratyaya at the end, become rasvaha. So 1 to 43, 1 to 48 get nirdaya. These are all fundamental concepts. Again, in the Saturday class, you're going to come into this slowly now. So we'll do all this in the Saturday class. I mean, in the Wednesday class. Before that, Wednesday class. So 1 to 43, 1 to 48 is prathama nirdishtam samas upasarjanam gostriyo rupasarjanasya. Or any new sutram, repeat it constantly. Gostriyo rupasarjanasya. That's a great seva of Panini that you can do. Great seva of Panini is repeat this, what he has said. Even you will get the qualities of Panini. You will eventually. They trickle down to you also. When you repeat what Panini has said, then his qualities come to you. So gostriyo rupasarjanasya. Nirdaya, then we made it into an adverb. We talked about that by using the Vartikam on 2.4.18. Vartikam and Ishti, I should say. Ishti on that. And then Then after that we got the form. So this is an adverb to prahartum. Prahartum. Next step is that prahartum, pratyatumun. Pratyatumun. Now tumun comes in about three main meanings. Main meanings. Here what is prahartum? Alam. Alam is an avyayam, by the way. Alam means samartha. Alam has various meanings. Alam can mean enough. Enough with this. Stop this. Stop this. Like say, alam rodhanena. Stop crying. Stop crying. Enough with crying. Alam vilapena. Stop moaning. Alam vilapena. Alam rodhanena. So enough with this. No more. That is not what we have here. It's not what we have here. This alam means samartha. Samartha. Let's go to apte, see what meanings it gives for alam. So alam is an avyayam. It has a variety of meanings. And let us see which one we can pick out here. In fact, that is why you can see that Mallinasa has given the meaning of alam. Given the meaning of alam. Because why has he given that? Because he wants to make sure that of the various meanings available, you want to take the meaning of shaktaha. Shaktaha. Not the one of, alam means enough with that. No more of that. So that's why to clarify that, Mallinatha gives the meaning shaktaha. Where a term has various meanings possible, it can be confusing. Generally speaking, the commentator will do the spashtikaranam. So anekeshu artheshu kaha arthaha atra vivakshitaha atra ko artha vivakshitaha. So which is the intended meaning right now? He will give you that. He will give you that. So shaktaha. Let's see what Apteji says. Apte says, okay, alam is enough. Enough with, stop, adequate. So alam means also, sufficient for. This could be it. Sufficient for. Means enough, means sufficient, means capable of. So tasya alam esha kritasya trutyai. So this is capable of satisfying your hunger. This is trutya, satisfying him who's hungry. Raghuvamsham. It can be a match for equal to. It also is true. Daitebhyo harir alam, Siddhanta Kaumudi. That Sri Vishnu Hari is a match for the Daityas. Alam mallo malle panlaya. This wrestler is a match for the other wrestler. Able, this is the one that you want. Able or competent. Alam bhoktum, Siddhanta Kaumudi. Alam bhoktum, Siddhanta Kaumudi means every single word of Siddhanta Kaumudi has to be read very, very carefully. It is our basic text, most important, pramana bhutaha granthaha. That is the authority. The authority in this language in today's day and world is Siddhanta Kaumudi. Siddhanta Kaumudi is the authority. Even though Mahabhashyam and all are behind it, but Siddhanta Kaumudi has distilled all of that for us. Distilled everything for us in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Alam bhoktum. So that this is alam bhoktum. So alam dagdhum, analam dagdhum, not able to so. So it comes with, so this is the meaning that we want. Alam bhoktum Siddhanta Kaumudi is capable of eating or enjoying. So what we have is there, prahartum alam na asmi. I'm not capable of it. So alam is an avyayam, meaning shaktaha na asmi. Now tumun pratyaya. Tumun comes in two or three meanings, three meanings. And these are a little bit hard to find. This is the thing that it comes in three different sections. I think one is this one, which is tumun nulau kriyayam kriyarthayam. This is saptamye kavachanam. Kriyayam kriyarthayam. So for example, bhoktum agacchati. Someone comes to eat or to enjoy. Bhoktum agacchati. So now this action which is agacchati is what's called a kriyartha kriya. It is an action which is done for the sake of, for the purpose of doing another action. Kriyartha kriya. When such an action is there close by, then the other action for the sake of which this action was done takes tumun pratyaya. So bhoktum agacchati. So patitum vasati. He stays to study. Bhoktum agacchati. So he comes to eat. If you have one kriya, which is done for the sake of another kriya. So when such a kriya is around, then the other one, the other dhatu, the sake of which the kriya was done, will take tumun. Right now we don't have that. We don't have that. Whatever is kriyayam, kriyarthayam is saptamye ekavachanam. This is the upapadam. Upapadam. Because the sutram is, of course, this one 3192. Tatropapadam saptamistham. Tatropapadam saptamistham. It's an upapadam. When it is close by, when it is present next to it close by. That's what it says. Kriyarthayam, kriyayam. When you have a kriya which artha, the prayojanam of that kriya, another kriya. It is a kriya whose prayojanam artha, another kriya. I mean, such a kriya is there. In this case, agacchati. In that case, the other one will take the. So when such a kriya is close by, then the dhatu takes tumun. We do not have that. So right now we have this. It only says prahartum alam shakta hasmi. There is no kriyartha kriya over here. There is no kriyartha kriya. Only says prahartum. Prahartum agacchati if you say. He comes to attack. So in that case, the prahartum will be that kriyarthayam kriyayam. So, but we don't have that. Then what can we do? We have to go another meaning. Always when you have a pratyaya, always ask the question, in which meaning is the pratyaya being used? Very important. You got the form, prahartum to get the form is very easy. Only do the gunaha by sarva dhatu kayoho, it's anit dhatu, so prahartum. Uran raparha. So ru becomes har, hartum. Straightforward. But in what meaning is it being used? Often overlooked. Often overlooked. Often overlooked. Don't overlook that fact. In what meaning? Now another meaning that this one is used is, I think, little bit later. Let me see. I think it is in one here is the. It comes over here, which is the saman ichchayam. Here is this. Saman kartrukeshu tumun. Means what? Aham dashtum ichchami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13. Dashtum ichchami te. Here it is. In Bhagavad Gita comes this. Dashtum ichchami te rupam. I want to see your Vishwarupam, Arjuna says. Dashtum ichchami te rupam. Here dashtum ichchami. I want to see. So do we have that? We don't have that either. It's not prahartum ichchami. Not that I want to kill. So he says shakta hasmi. So we have, so this one also doesn't work for us. Doesn't work for us. The difficult part of this tuman is that these meanings are coming in three different places of the Ashtadhyayi, not in one single spot. So we had looked at this, tumul nulau. This is coming in the kriyayam kriyarthayam. That didn't work for us. Then we looked at this one, which talks about saman kritukeshu tumun, icchartheshu. So when you have someone desiring to do something himself, not that I want you to do something, I want to do something myself. Am nyatum ichchami, bhoktum ichchami, gantum ichchami, dashtum ichchami. And you not have to go vanchami. So it says am nyatum vanchami. I want to know. So that we don't have that. Now comes another sutram, which is what we do have right now. Sutram called 3465. It says that shaka, drisha, gnya, gala, ghata, rabha, labha, krama, saha, arha, astyartheshu tumun. Sahar, hastyartheshu. Saharha means saha and arha. Saharha astyartheshu tumun. So when, this is again Saptami here. Tatrapapadam Saptami stham. So when one of these dhatus is used in conjunction, then you can also use tumun. Yes, what the first dhatu is shak. Shaktos, that is why Malata gave shaktaha. So aham nyatum shaktosmi. I'm able to understand, able to be able. So it says nyatum. So it says here, so nyatum. So it's come, so when it says when shak is there, so it says gantum shaknoti. So it says, so this is what it says. So gantum janati. How about that? Gantum janati. She knows how to go. So gantum patitum janati. So nya can be used. Like vaktum arabhate. He starts to speak. Vaktum arabhate. So also arhati. So vaktum arhasya sheshena comes in Gita. Again comes in Gita. Vaktum arhasya sheshena divya yatma vibhutayaha. Yavir vibhutibir lokan imamstam vyapya tishtasi comes in Gita. Keep on chanting Gita. Keep on chanting Gita. Here it is. Vaktum arhasya sheshena. Vaktum arhasi. Arhasi. Dhatu arha. Dhatu arha was here this sutram. The moment you chant this Gita next time, you have to recall this sutram if you can, which is this one. The shaka, drisha, gnya, gla, ghata, rabha, labha, krama, sahar, hastyarteshu, sahar, saha, arha, astyarteshu, sahar, hastyarteshu, tumun, astyartha, bhoktum asti, bhoktum vidyate, there is food to eat, there is something to eat. So bhoktum vidyate, something to eat, there is there. So this one, now we have dhatu shakka. We have the word alam. Alam means shaktaha. So that's why tumun was used by 3, 4, 65. Shakka, drisha, gnya, gla, ghata, rabha, labha, krama, saha, arha, asti artheshu tumun. So this one comes in Gita. Vaktum arhasya sheshena. Vaktum, you ought to tell me. You ought to tell. Dhatu arha. So 10.16. So, okay. So prahartum shaktaha nasmi. These are all grammatic points of grammar. If you don't understand them all, it is okay. But it's not that difficult to understand. So prahartum. So prahartum, what has been used is 3, 4, 64. And what has not been used is the 3, 3, 10 has not been used here. The 3, 3, 158 has not been used here. And what example in Gita is the Vaktumarhasya sheshena divya yatma vibhutaya. So this can be homework for you. Go through Bhagavad Gita. It has a lot of usage of tumun. Tumun everywhere. That tumun. Then you can take a homework and see which one goes under 3, 4, 65, which one goes under 3, 3, 10, which one goes under 3, 3, 158. I just give you 2 examples, which is that Drashtumichhami te rupam, that's 3, 3, 158. Vaktumarhasya sheshena, 3, 4, 65. So go through Gita and see what tumuns you have and see where you can put this in this one, which is these specific dhatus coming in connection with these dhatus, or do you have 3, 3, 158, which is, do you have the saman kritrakeshu ichartheshu tumun, do you have that, or do you have the kriyayam kriyarthayam? Which one do you have? It can be good homework for you. Now, okay, example in Gita, and that was Gita shloka number, it was 10.16, 10.16, 10.16, 10.16, 10.16 of the Gita, 10.16. Okay, so that is the usage of prahartum. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just on alam and tumun.
Yes.
I was looking at Baini on the Abhyaya Prakaranam on volume 1, page 523, 26, I think.
Okay.
Here he quotes the Raghuvamsham in one place and makes Sandesham, Arhasyenam Shamayutum Alam Varidhara Sahasraihi.
Okay. Let me see. Alam. Okay. Alam is 526, is it?
Yeah. He gives the Samartha Hona as this one.
Yes, Samartha. So
the Raghuvamsham Dvitiya Sarga.
Yes.
39 also. Tasyalamesha Shuditasya Triptyai.
Triptyai. This can be apte also.
Yeah.
So, Arhasi enam shamayutum alam varidhara sahasraihi. So shamayutum alam. So you have to shamayutum alam means it is to be capable, to be enough.
Capable of pacifying, I think, right?
So arhasi means you ought to. Enam shamayutum, to pacify this one. Shamayutum alam. Alam means, I think enough. I think sufficiently. Varidhara sahasraihi, by thousands of streams of water, by downpours. Varidhara sahasraihi. So alam means is enough for, capable of, is sufficient for. Alam mallo mallaya is this the one, that's what apte is given, right? The apte is given is that We can be enough or sufficiently, sufficient for, to be sufficient. So you ought to, I think what it means is that, see the Shamayatum, it is an interesting case. So this is, in fact, it's very interesting, boss, because here now you have not spent too much time. You have Arhasi also is there. Look at that. Look at this quotation. Arhasi enam Shamayatum. That tumun pratyaha vasu, is that it looks like it right now, this is because of Arhasi, not because of Alam.
Okay, I thought it was interesting. That's why I thought I should.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting. But I think Arhasi Shamayutam. You ought to. Take Arhasi, Vaktum Arhasi. So Shamayutam Arhasi. You ought to pacify. You ought to cool down. You ought to cool down. Ought to cool down this one. Alam means sufficiently, I think, sufficiently. Varidhara Sahasrayihi. Sufficiently. So enough means in a you are fully capable, means you cool him down, means as desired, means in a very sufficient manner. That's what I think that alam is, that alam is. So that's an interesting combination, because there you have arhasi, you also have alam shamayatam. Okay, so that's an interesting combination. You have to think about that one. I think arhasi itself is enough to do that tuman. Shamayatam, arhasi shamayatam. Okay, yeah, it's a good example. So let's look at this one, what we are left with. So this is a good this prahartum. I mean, the form is straightforward. You pin the pratyaya tuman, dhatu is ru, do the guna adeshaha, which is the sarvadhatuka ardhaka yoho, and it's anit dhatu, and then uran raparaha prahartum. Alam shaktaha nasmi. Now there comes kim. Kim tu, but kim tu. Anena patrina. Patrin is a sharaha. Sharaha patrin. Patra is like this, also these feathers, leaves, I think feathers, which they put at the end of the arrow, So that is the patrin. Patrin is that which has this patrani santi. Patrani santi ascheti patrin. Nothing we can do that. So what has happened is the patra in, like balin. So what is this is the prakaranam, which is end of 5.2. Which is the matup arthya pratyaha tadasyasmin matup, one who has that. And here what we have sutram is ata inithanau. Ata inithanau. So if you have adantam pradipadikam, then we can interpret the pratya ini, like balin, chakrin, all these words coming like, so these are coming, one who has balam is balin, becomes bali, then chakrin, chakri, so pinaki. So these are all, which are one who has that. So here we have the patra. We can look at the update what he gives. So patrin is that which has patrani. It has patrani. So patrin. So it should be, I think you might get etymology here of patrin. Okay, patrin. Let's see what he gives. So patram asti, astyarthe, ini, astyarthe. So ini, so it means that winged, one which has wings, also feathered. Wings, patras also mean leaves, also means wings or feathers also. So having leaves or pages also could be an arrow. Arrow means that which has I think they put these feathers, at the end of the arrow. It's called patrin. Patrin, so patrin. Then patrina, I think, is clearly titya ekvachanam patrina. Of course, you get natvam there, because the nimittam is refaha, and atkupmanum gavayopi. So patrina is sharena. It clarifies. So patrina is sharena. So te, of course, means tava te, gatim. So gatim in this case is gamanam. Now gatim was formed from dhatu, gam, in bhava, abstract noun. So gatim is movement. Now, why does he bother to give the meaning of gamanam? So the fact it can have various meanings. Gatim can also be a destination. It can be a goal that you reach. That is not what he's talking about here. So gatim is simply gamanam. So it is a bit confusing, because gati to yati parangatim comes in Gita many times. Right? Param gatim comes in Gita a few times. So be very confusing when you're chanting tato yati parangatim. So gatim comes in Gita. It means a destination. Adamam gatim, chapter 16. Mama prapchaiva kauntaya tato yanchadhamam. They go to a very low destination, a low destiny. Adhamam gatim. Adhamam gatim. That is not what we have here. Because what we have, that's why Malinatha clarifies, gati is gamanam, movement, not the destination, not your destiny or your fate or your goal. So here it says param, all these in Gita, param gatim, all of these are in the sense of, that which you reach to. But this is not what we have. That is the reason why Malinatha clarifies gatim is gamanam. So he has given another bhavartha pratyaya here, gamanam, to make sure that this is bhavartha. Now, to take a little small tour for you, these pratyayas, the ghai and the striyam tin, they can come in two sets of meanings. One is the bhave. Bhave, always back to the same principle. In what meaning has the tin pratyaya been used? So one can be bhave, so gatim can be gamanam. Means just the abstract noun, the action. So patam is patanam, reading. So gatim is gamanam, means going. But it also can come akartri chakarake sanyayam. So that which is gone to, gamyate iti gatihi. So that which is gone to the destination. So it can also come in those meanings, sanyayam. Now, which one, this one, what we have the meaning in bhave right now, not in the akartri chakarake sanyayam. So this sutram is triyam tin. Let me see, I think it's Hema there. Let's see. This is Hema's sutram. I think she knows this sutram. Let me see if she can see it there. Hema, are you there? Can answer this question for me. This dhatu gam pratyak tin. So anyways, the sutram is triyam tin, and then we want to take the dhatu gam and make the word gati. So what we need to do is that this triyam tin also comes the same adhikara of this bhave and akati chakarake sanyayam. So what Malinatha has done is that he has taken this pratyaya gamanam, which is this lyutcha, napumsake bhave, taha lyutcha. Now this adhikara ends over here. With triyamtin ends the adhikara. Always know the adhikara of ashtadhyayi. Very, very important. So this adhikara of bhave and akrati chakarake sanyayam, this adhikara ends with the striyam tin prakaranam, which ends in, I think, 33112. And then Panini starts with krutyalito bahulam, and then he goes on to napumsake bhavektaha. Can be you, like, you can say jalpitam, hasitam, then lyutcha. So lyutcha is the gamanam. So lyut pratyaya can be used napumsake, again bhave. So what Malinatha does was he took the pratyaya in which is more common. Gamanam more commonly means going, but gatim can mean different meanings. So that is why Malinatha has given the clarification that gatim means gamanam. So these are not trivial. These are not trivial comments. He will not waste a single word. Okay, so Hema, if you can tell us dhatu gam, I want to get the makara lopaha. This is the new sutram. Bhavati janati iti ham janami. So nyatum arhasi. You ought to know this one, Hema. Are you there? If you can, you can help us out. So you can take the dhatu gam. So first add the pratyaya striyam tin, pratyaya tin, of course anubandha lope ti. By I think your mic is not working here. You can type on the chat if you want. I don't hear you. So it is the 3293-394 striyam tin, and then we got the Shakvatadite, halantyam, and this is a anidhatu. So gama, nama, yama, rama, chatvaraha. There are 4 dhatus which are anidhatus. So it means that in nishedha. So 7 to 10 will do in nishedha. Always the first duty, your first duty. In fact, I take it back. I forgot one thing. Okay. The important point is that when that is true, gam is a anidhatu, but there is a sutram which says that this pratyaya thing does not take the ragamaha. This thing pratyaya, no matter what dhatu you have, doesn't take any ragamaha. 3729, ti, tu, tra, ta, tha, si, su, sa, ra, ka, se, shu, cha. Among these, This is the one which is the pratyak thing, which is the most important one. Remainings come in the unadi partha, less important. So the pratyak thing, of course, this also has some vartikams on it. As a general rule, the pratyak thing will not take the idagamaha, no matter what dhatu you have. So you don't have to check this one. If pratyak thing you have, you don't need to go to this the ekash upadeshana dhatu. Only look at this sutram, which is ti, tu, tra, ta, tha, si, su, sa, ra, ka, se, shu, cha. So pratyas are there. Striyam tin is there. So 7 to 9 itself you need. So no need to check. No need to check 7 to 10. 7 to 9 does the in nishedha. Okay, Hema, if you're there, tell us what the sutram is for doing the anunasika lopaha. Anunasika lopaha. Anunasika lopaha. Okay, your mic is not working, Hema. If you're there, so you can type. Otherwise, the sutram is.
Yes.
Do you know what's the sutram?
Yeah, I was looking at the typo here. In no shedaha.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, sutram is 6437. 6437 says that anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jalikiniti. Anudattopadesha, my favorite thing I told you, akshatan samarpayami. Which when you do your puja, akshatan samarpayami. So akshatan, dhatu is kshan. Kshan is to injure. Akshata means uninjured rice, means that unbroken rice. Anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam. This tanotyadi includes dhatu kshan. Anudattopadesha, which is anudattaswaraha, means anudattaswaraha means you think of 7 to 10. Ekach upadesha anudattat, the same dhatus which take the in nishedha. Those same dhatus are referred to in this sutram, which is the, of course, there should be anunasikanta. So there are 6 of them, which is gama, nama, yama, rama, chatvaraha, manteshu. Nanteshu, han and manya. So han and manya, which means that these 6 dhatus are called anudattopadesha, which end in a anunasik. Anudatta upadesha, single dhatu vanati, tanotyadinam, anunasika lopo, jalikiniti. Pratyak thin is a jaladi, kit pratyaha, will take anunasika lopa, jalikiniti. So this is what is happening here. Anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam, anunasika lopo, jalikiniti. 6437. When it man becomes matihi, so all these, han becomes hataha, ramena vali hataha. So all of these use so gati. To get the form gati, use the sutram 6437. So gati in this case has been used in the bhavarte, which is 3318. So gati means gamanam. So here we get this one. It says gatim is gamanam hanmi. Hanmi is a dhatu in the second gana. Adiprabhritibhya shapaha, shapluk. So han plus lat lakaraha, of course, halantyam. Upadesh ajunanasika it, then lasya tiptaji, mip adesha, halantyam. To be straightforward for you by now. So you get han plus mip, then you get kartari shap, sarvadhatuke, anuvarti. So you have han, shap plus me. Then what happens is that in the adadi ganaha, in what's called dvitiya ganaha, adadi ganaha, this shap pratyaha takes look. Adiprabhritibhya shapaha. So 2472 shap look and just becomes hanmi. So han shap plus me becomes hanmi. So 2472 becomes hanmi. 2472 becomes hanmi. This is adiprabhritibhya shapaha. So shesham samanyam. Remaining prakriya is samanya prakriya. Only thing is that adiprabhritibhya shapaha hanmi. So do I kill? But do I kill with this arrow your movement? Do I stop? Do I destroy your movement? Uta means or on the other hand, uta is the meaning of uta is an avyayam. It is an avyayam uta. These avyayas are very useful. Uta means is it this or that? This or that, uta. So uta can also be like, bhavat yuta. It can also mean for emphasis, but uta can also mean this or that, choice. So uta, expressing doubt, uncertainty, yes, or, this or that, syat uta yatha me. So, so these are all the meanings, and alternative, this alternative, usually correlative of kim, whether this or that. Kimidam gurubhir upadishtam uta dharmashastreshu patitam uta moksha prapti yuktir iyam. So kim, is it that this is gurubhir upadishtam? Is it taught by the guru? Uta. Or on the other hand, dharmashastreshu patitam. Is this in dharmashastra? Uta. Or on the other hand, moksha prapti yuktir iyam. Is this some device to get moksha? So this is the uta means, is it this or that? Could it be this or that or that? Basically, or alternative. So kim and uta, idiomatic uses, kim and uta. So any other words also, but that is the meaning of uta, means that is it this or that, a choice, alternatives. Idiomatic usage, uta makhajitam, so makhaihi arjitam. Arja means to earn. In English, same word in English, right? Arja is to earn. The English word earn is arja. Arja is to earn. So makhajitam, simply speaking, makhaihi arjitam, lokam sargam. So this lokaha, sarga lokaha. Loka means any world, but it means sarga lokaha. It is the sargam, which is you have earned by all your various sacrifices. So should I kill that? Hanmi. Should I kill this or should I kill that? Should I destroy our movements, or on the other hand, should I destroy the sarga lokaha, which that you have earned? You have earned by your sacrifices. So makhaihi arjitam, makhajitam. Then shamsa means bruhi. Shamsa. Now by this time this should be very clear to you. Shams dhatu, I think it's probably bhuvadi ganaha. Is all these rules have been done in the Saturday examples, so we won't go through details. Put the numbers down quickly and then we get the translation. So let's look at the dhatu partaha. Dhatu shams. Prashamsa. Prashams means to praise. Shams can just mean to narrate, to tell. Prashams, very common. Prashams means to praise. Prashams. So shamsi ichchayam. Ashas, no. That's not that one. That one, the next one. Let's see. Shamsus tutau. Durgatau. So shamsus tutau. Bhuvadi ganaha. Shamsu. So shamsati. So shamsati means to praise. Also means to narrate. No, it doesn't have to be. See, this meaning, dhatu pata meaning, only one meaning they give, Dhatu nam bhavaha arthaha sambhavanti. There can be different meanings. So this shamsa. So let's go through prakriya quickly because this has already come in the Saturday class. So it already come in all the examples that you have got. If this is too fast for you, then please go back and look at the examples that you get every day. You'll find that over there. So shams. So what's happening is that you got the, of course, pratyaya lot, then halantyam, upadesh ajunanasika it, lasya tiptaji, get the pratyaya si. I mean after that kartari shap. Kartari shap comes here. Remember, the shap cannot come until sip comes. The shap cannot come until sip comes, because that's only sarvadhatuke. But the shap comes here, and serya picha. Serya picha is that the si becomes he in lot lakaraha, as I mentioned to you many times, is that is 3, 4, 78 is a one set of rules, not a single rule. It's a set of rules, the whole prakaranam. Lasyadikaraha. So once you apply tiptajji, do not leave it. Do not leave this until you scan remaining of 3.4 and immediately make those transformations right here, which are depending on lakara. So lakara sambandhi adesha vikaraha atreva kartavyaha. Nagantavya manyatra. Don't go anywhere else. Stop here. Stop. When 3, 4, 78, immediately look down here. Serya picha. Serya picha. In place of C, you get the he adesha. Lot lakara. Serya picha 3487 is going to become, of course, you anubandha lopa first, so you're going to become Anubandha Lopa, I won't put the sutras for that, you already know that. So basically you get the Shakvatadjite, Halantyam, and then you get the Hi Adeshaha, Hi Adeshaha, Hi Adeshaha, 3487, and then you get Ato He He, Ato He He, Ato He He, Ato He He. Adanta Mangam if you have, Akaranta Mangam. Akaranta Mangam if you have, then you can Ato He He, Ato He He, 6-4, I'm sorry, 6-4, Ato He He. So Adanta Mangam if you have the He, the He takes a look, Ato He He, Ato He He, 64105, Ato He He, Ato He He, Ato He He. This thing of the practice like mathematics. So better to practice this form first before you get to those. Yes.
Yeah, interestingly, the area picture applies in Bruhi and it stays, right?
Yes, Bruhi, very good. So what Vasu is saying is that the area picture in the word Bruhi. Now Bruhi, interesting, we'll come to that in a second, but yes, area picture, same thing, Dhatu, Bru, is taken, this Uvaipaya Dhatu, I think it goes in, so Bruhi, this is Dhatu from the Adadi Ganaha. So Adipapratibhya Shapaha Shapluk. So in the Adadi Ganaha, the Dhatu for the Shap takes look, it goes away. Basically it goes away. So that's what defines the Adadi Ganaha. Adadi Ganaha are those Dhatus in which the Shap takes look, Shapluk. So Bruhi. Bruhi is a form of the same thing, but Shams is complete Shams and we complete Bruhi also. So here we have come is the Shams we get by Ato He He, Ato He He. In Angaschadikara, look where we're jumping now. We're jumping to the 64105, Ato He He, 64105, Ato He He, 64105, Ato He He, Shamsa. Now Bruhi, Tanme Bruhi comes in Gita. Tanme Bruhi Sunushchitam. Bruhi is a very, very common form. Only thing here is that we go through all the similar steps. Of course, we also use this Ariprabhutibhya Shapaha, Shapluk, Serya picture, everything same steps. Only one thing is that why no guna of the Ukaraha? Why there is no guna of the Ukaraha? Remember, Panini says Serya picture, Apiccha. Don't forget that Apiccha, Serya picture. The Sip Pratyaya had pause and it. So by Sthanivat Bhavaha, when you do any Adeshaha, any substitute takes the property of the item being substituted. So it's called as Sthanivat Bhavaha. By Sthanivat Bhavaha, the Hi Adeshaha should inherit the Pitvam of the Sip Pratyaya. It does. But then Panini specifically says Apiccha. So that he will not inherit the Pitvam of the Sip Pratyaya. How does that matter to us? Why can we not use Sarvadhatuka, Ardhadhatuka Yoho? Why can we not use that in Bruhi? So etasya samadhanam Bruhi. Tell me why in Bruhi we cannot use the Guna Adeshaha by Sarvadhatuka, Ardhadhatuka Yoho? Because the Hi Pratyaya definitely has a sanya of Sarvadhatukam by Ting Shit Sarvadhatukam and Sthanivad Bhavaha. Sthanivad Bhavaha means that Sthanivad Anal Vidhau. Any Adeshaha Sthanivad Bhavaha. Okay, Sutram here is that Sarvadhatukam Apit. This means that if you have a Pratyaha, Sanya of which has Sanya of Sarvadhatukam, if it is Apit, becomes Nyatvat. Cannot do any Guna Adeshaha because of Kiniticha. So, when we have the Pratyaya Shap in between, it doesn't matter. If you have in between Shap, there is no opportunity for the He to do Guna anyway. So when the Shap is there, this Guna of Akara is Akara only. So then these rules we did not study in Saturday so far, because when you have the Adanta Mangam, so it doesn't matter then this whether it can do Guna or cannot do Guna. It doesn't really matter. So this Apiccha was not appreciated by us so far. So far we could not appreciate this Apiccha because we did not have any opportunity for doing Guna because the Shap was preceding. So it's not going to matter. But now in a word like Bruhi, when the Shap has taken look, now he could operate on the Bru Dhatu. That's the Angam, is Bru. Could have done the Guna. But because of this Sutram, Sarvadhatukam Upit, There is no guna. No guna. But the serya picture, that apiccha is what is causing the guna to stop. So it is guna nishedha, guna nishedha, guna nishedha, guna nishedha, guna nishedha by kiniticha, and of course, and that it is going to be, actually I should put it like this. First you get the nitvad bhavaha sarvadhatukam apit. It's a very important sutra. We have not studied so far on Saturday because I said because we have not done these ganas where there is an opportunity to guna, but this sutra, the moment you have pratyaya, sanya sarvadhatukam, immediately look and see if it's pit or apit. If it is apit, that means that it is important. It is important. It cannot do the guna adesha, vidya adesha because of sarvadhatukam apit kiniticha. Okay. Let's bring in our adhikrita anuvad karaha. Ready, sir?
Namaste, namaste.
Okay, let me try to stack these pages for you, okay? Let me see if I can stack some pages. Okay. Let me see. 19. Number 84. Okay. Although, what is although?
Api.
Api, although, api, correct. You are.
Tvam. Tvai.
You are really, this is a Sati Saptami.
Saptami.
Even on your being. Tell you, if you don't want to English, even on your being an aggressor. So on your being. So that is, yes. Of course, aggressor is the
Abhivati.
Abhibhavati, because even really this should be even on your aggressing.
Yeah.
So abhibhavati is a present participle. Even though you are attacking, you are attacking or insulting me, or you are oppressing me. Okay, then I am not disposed. So okay, so what would you say? So not is no, right? No.
Na prahartum.
So
Na alam.
No alam asmi.
Alam asmi.
So the asmi is I am. Okay, I am. Then not is no. And then disposed is the alam, capable. I'm not disposed. So na alam asmi. I'm not na samartha asmi. I'm not disposed. So I'm not capable, not disposed. Ruthlessly, without any pity, is an adverb. This one. It will be nirdayam.
Nirdayam.
Means without any mercy, mercilessly. Nirdayam. So strike is
Prahartum.
You, I think, is understood. I don't see some. That's understood. You. Because this iti, because common iti hetoho, right? Iti heto. For that reason. So in quotation, you are a Brahmana. That means therefore. It's understood from the iti. So the iti is giving us the meaning of that because. And now you are a Brahmana. That is the
Vipra.
So that you have to supply this you are is understood. Inside the quotation is a separate sentence. So Bhavan Vipraha Asti Iti. That this has to be supplied, okay? So you are this is to be supplied in the quotation. Brahmana is Vipraha. Now then comes tell me. What do you think for tell me?
Tell me Shamsa.
Now I think it's me or supply me. So me bruhi. So we have to supply that from the context. So tell me. Then if. That then if is Kim. So I am to destroy. Means I destroys, I am to destroy. That is the dhatu han.
Han me.
Do I destroy? So your is
te,
tavate, your. Locomotion is what is the dhatu gam.
Gatim.
Gatim gamanam lokam.
Gatim.
So by this arrow is this one.
Anena patrina.
Patrina, yes. Anena patrina, yes. Anena patrina, thank you. Anena pradipadikam idam. By the way, idam, anapyakaha. So this sutram for making, I missed that one, making the an adeshaha is, this all comes in chadadina maha. Below that you have all is chadadina maha. Sutram anapyakaha. Anapyakaha. Excuse me. Anapyakaha. Anapyakaha. What is anapyaka? So this word anena comes in Gita. Anena prasavishyadvam eshvo sishtakamadika. So anena. So 72112 anena. This annadeshaha. 72112. Anapyakaha. Anaapi akaha. So 72112. This is you practice these rules, you can practice them. Idamaha, akakarasya, akakarasya idamaha, id becomes an. Api means it's going to be from the titya ekavachanam to saptami bahuvachanam. This, if you have the id bhaga becomes an, ida becomes ana, so anena, anapyakaha, we're in document 72112, anapyakaha, anena. Please practice these rules. Anena. Comes in Gita. Anena prasavishyadvam eshvo sishtakamadika. Chapter number 3. Anapyakaha. Anapyakaha comes in chapter 3. Chapter 7 here. Chapter 3 of Gita. Okay, let's go back to translation. Let's see what we have. Okay, so anena, yeah, by this is anena. By this anena. And then, or to bar, this same hanmiyak. Or is, what is or? Or is the uta.
Utakim.
So uta, and then there is a skim and uta idiomatic combination. This or that. To bar is again hanmi.
Vanni.
Your again is tava. Te. And what is way?
Mukha.
So way. So sorry. This one, way to religious regions. Way to regions is the
Lokam.
Lokam. He's put the way to it, but it's really lokam only. Lokam.
Lokam.
So which you have acquired by sacrificial ceremonies.
Arjitam. Mukharjitam.
So makha is the sacrificial ceremony. Arjitam is earned. So makhaihi arjitam, makharjitam, which you acquired. Okay. Thank you. So let's see if we can give you some homework. We have about 5-10 minutes left. So now, if you look at the next shloka, is not that difficult. So, pratyuvacha tam rishir na tattvataston na vedmi purusham puratanam gam gatasya tava dhama vaishnavam kopito yasi maya didrukshana. Okay? Pratyuvacha tam rishir na tattvataston na vedmi purusham puratanam Gam gatasya tava dhama vaishnavam kopito yasi maya didrukshona. Punarikavaram pratyuvacha tam rishir na tattvatasvan na vedmi purusham puratanam. Gam gatasya tava dhama vaishnavam kopito yasi maya didrukshona. To padachyedaha pratyuvacha means replied. Pratyuvacha tam Rishihi na tattvataha tvam na vedmi purusham puratanam gam gatasya tava dhama vaishnavam kopitaha hi asi maya didrukshuna. This is samadhikaranam over here, didrukshuna. So this is that simple meaning of pratyuvacha. So bhargavaha pratyuvacha, parushuramaha pratyuvacha. So rishihi pratyuvacha. Rishihi. So the sage Parashuramaha replied to Sri Ramaha, tam Sri Ramam pratyuvacha. So no vedmi no means it is not that I don't know you. No, there's two nakas. You have no over here, also have no over here also. So no vedmi no means it is not that I don't know you. Means actually I do know you. Tattvataha. Tattvataha means sarupataha. So truly in your true form. Tattvataha means truly. In English, truly, really, in your real form. Tattvataha. Tvam is of course Dvitiya Ekavachanam, object of vedmi. Tvam no vedmi iti no. It is not that I don't know you truly, who you are. As the Purusham Puratanam, it is not that I don't know you truly to be the ancient being. Ancient Puratanam is the ancient Purushaha. But then he says, then why do I come in conflict? But Kopitaha hiyasi, you have been angered by me. Angered by me. Kopitaha. Kopita is pratyaya nich. Not, so Kopitaha means made angry. Dhatu kup. You've been made angry, maya, by me. Who is the by me is an adjective here. Didrukshana. Dashtum ichuna. One who wants to see. We'll do next look in the next class. We'll do this. Sananta prayoga. Sananta san pratyaha means when you want to do something for yourself. Like jidnyasati, see, I want to know. Mumukshuhu, one who wants to be free. Pipasuhu, one who wants to drink. So all these words are coming from this, the yutsu. Even comes in Gita very first loka. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta, yutsavaha. Yutsavaha. Yuyutsu. Yudhum ichuhu. Yutsu. One who wants to fight. So the drukshana. But this has taken an object now. Is tava dhama, tava prabhavam, tava tejaha, idrukshana. So you have been angered by me purposely because I desire to see your power, your glory. Vaishnavam dhama, your Vaishnavam, because you are Lord Vishnu. I want to see your power as Vishnu. Vaishnavam dhama. And for you who has come down to this earth, gam gatasya tava, qualifying tava. So he's saying it is not that I don't know you to be. So basically Rishihi Pratyam Pratyuvacha. So Rishihi Parusharamaha Tam Sri Ramam Pratyuvacha. Rishi replied to Sri Ramaha. It is not that I don't know you truly to be the ancient Purushaha. But you have been indeed angered by me because I'm desirous of seeing your Vaishnava power of you who has come down to this earth. So, avatiranasya. So one who has descended on earth. So some homework exercise for you. Again, you say it's the same word gata. Use the same sutram, practice, which is the anudatthopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasikalopa jalikiniti. 6.437 gam plus ta. Same this gam. So how is this? This is the Dvitiya Ekavacham Pradipadikam is go. So by what sutram does go plus become gam? Oh, so please find out in the sutram in the Puraparyoho Ekadeshaha Adhikaraha, you will find a sutram where this we can be able to show that the in this Adhikaraha you will find a sutram which let me see where it is. Autom shasoho, autom puraparyoho ekadeshaha. Puraparyo says go plus becomes gam. Okay, let me just check for you. I'm pretty sure it is in this section, but before I give the homework, let's see. Yeah, it is in this section. It is right here. So please find a sutram which is coming to make this go plus into gam. The drukshana, again in the Wednesday class we've gone through great details. Derive this from the drukshana if you can, okay? Give you what you need for that. This is all homework for next time homework. If you can do some of this, try on your own. Try to at least put some steps down. So the first step is the pratyaya san comes in here. Dhatoho karmanaha samana krutakadichayam va. Pratyaya san will come over here. So when the san pratyaya comes, idagamaha dhatu drish of course is not a said dhatu. So, but there are also some specific rules. But I think here itself we don't have a problem because drish is idagamaha. The idagamaha not coming is very important because we'll do in detail next time in the class, which is just homework for you if you want to try on your own. What happens is that when this san pratyaya doesn't take idagamaha, it also becomes this kitvat. kit becomes a kit. So iko jal halantacha. Because didrukshu, so dhatu drush, why not guna of the rukaraha? Pratyaya san, the sanya of ardha dhatu come. Because 738 is 6 buganta lagupatasya cha. The rukara should take guna adesha, uran raparaha. But that is stopped. That is stopped because when you have the jala, the sun, when the sun pratyaya doesn't take idagamaha, then for next time, please try to look at the sutram 1 to 10. Halantacha becomes kit pratyaya, then kiniticha guna nishedha. One more time, because the sun pratyaya not taking idagamaha, halantacha becomes kit, kiniticha guna nishedha. Then of course the abhyasa karyani. See, our Vasu is a samrat of the, is a Yuvaraja of the abhyasa karyani, which is in the 5486. Actually, sorry, Vasu is the samrat of young look. He looks young all the time. So young look. Anyway, he also has another Rajyam now. He had abhyasa karyani also. So you have Rasvaha, Alad Shesha, all the, but there's a specific rule which says that Sanyataha. Sanyataha is a very special rule. Sanyataha, Sanyataha. So these all these rules are rules which you use for any abhyasaha. But then comes, because this haladi sheshaha, rasvaha, all these are samana niyamaha. But Sanyataha, the specific rule is only for Sani. Sanyataha, 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 Sanyataha. Where is Sanyataha? It should be, I think, 79, yeah. Sanyataha. That's the ikara. Anyway, take it for homework. Try if you can. Then finally, by the way, you need to use the, you want to make an adjective here. Shana shamsa bhiksha. I think that's 3, 2, I think 168. After you do all of this, you create a new dhatu. Sanadyanta dhatavaha. And after that, put the pratyaya uhu at the end. Sana shamsa bhiksha uhu. Sana shamsa bhiksha uhu. That's 3 to 168. That's homework for you for next time. Idrukshaho. Then Vedmi, very simple, is dhatu is adadiganaha. Do shapluk, get the form Vedmi. Okay, it's very straightforward form. Then, of course, the drukshana, you can declare like Guru Shabda becomes Guruna. Ango nastriyam, Ango nastriyam, Ango nastriyam. The dhatu is kup. It's taken the nich pratyaya with 3126. Puganta lagupatasya become kopitaha. And of course, nishtayam seti. This is probably dhaman pratipadikam. The moment you see an akaranta padam, which is dvitiya or prathama eka vachanam, you can almost close your eyes and say this must be a ananta, anantaha, napumsakalinga shabdaha. Comes in Gita in a few places. Janma karma cha me divyam, janma, karma. Comes in Gita, dhama, tadhama paramam mama, chapter 15. Tadhama, dhaman padabadikam, dhaman. Derived dhama from dhaman. Dvitiya ekvachanam. One more time, if you see an akaranta padam, which is dvitiya prathama ekavachanam, and you can make a very strong guess, this is going to be an ananta, ending in an. Napusalinga pratipadikam. Okay, tattvataha pratyaya tasi is here. You can also be done that also. It gets the obvious tattvataha. And then let's stop with that. We'll continue next time. Okay. And of course, read this tika if you can also. Very straightforward tika is here. So Ramo Rajamanis Sadav. Yes.
Sanyango, they go together, so I will take that assignment.
Okay. Vasu, to end the class, Vasu has a joke for us, is that he's also some young look. He looks young all the time, but then this is the moving got from Panini because he knows the young look sutram. But then what he's saying is that in connection with that, he also got this other territory, which is the Sanyangoho, they go together. So he got this one also, this with the Sanyataha. Okay. Ramo Raja Manistada Vijete, Ramam Ramesham Vijay, Ramena Vyata Nishachara Chamu, Ramaya Tasmai Namaha, Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham, Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bhorama Mamudhara, Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranam Tatsalyam Rama Nama Varadane, Shri Rama Nama Varadana Undamati. How are you doing? What's okay?